doing the rear brakes on your 4th gen Maxima. Again, I'll cover pads and rotors. Alright, to start off with, first, again, the wheel is off. Couldn't tell. I'm not going to cover jacking up and moving the wheel because, just like I said in the other video, if you can't do that, you should stay away from your brakes. Parking brake has to be off, otherwise you're not really going to get anywhere doing this. So, to start off with, remove the two 14mm head caliper mounting bolts. And again, they're facing away from you, so make sure you turn them the right way. And once you have those two bolts out, we'll go ahead and, there's a clip holding the parking brake cable back here. We'll go ahead and pull that out, just some pliers. Then pull the parking brake cable out of its little bracket and pull it off. You might have to push this the lever for the parking brake cable. So I push in a little, you can slide this right off. It just kind of hooks on there. Now, go ahead and remove your calipers. And I don't have the car jacked up very high. I just had my wheel under here. Let's put the caliper on the wheel. Just like the fronts, you don't want to leave them hanging by the brake lines. So go ahead and remove your pads. And you can see the shims on these. Just pop right off. And these are nice and dirty as well. And the rear's got a little tiny shim. Alright, calipers off, pads are out. Next thing you want to do is remove these 17mm head bolts. They hold the torque member on. And again, they are facing away from you, so you don't want to turn the wrong way. If they are really tight and they don't feel like they're going to come loose, you never want to hammer on bolts like that, otherwise you'll just screw yourself. Like this, both torque member bolts broke off because they were rusted in there pretty damn well, and using a little too much force on them. Yeah, so if they really don't want to come loose, it's best to really not touch them and let them be. But so now, the rotor, if you're lucky again, just pops right off. And this one looks decent enough. Put your new rotor back on. Again, just like the fronts, you want to go ahead and clean off the oily coating that's on there. Otherwise, it won't be all that good. Slide that back on. Alright, once you get the rotor back on, again, I put some lug nuts on there. Just to hold it in place while you're putting the torque member back on. Torque member and caliper and pads. So go ahead and put your torque member back on. It's got the two 17mm head bolts that go in the back. So I'll just hold it up for the purpose of demonstration. Like that. Go ahead and put your pads back in. Now put your caliper back on. Now to screw this piston back in, you don't just push it in like the fronts. What you do is you can get some needle nose pliers. I don't have any short ones here for some reason, so I'm using these long ones. And you just turn it and this caliper's seized up. But you just stick them in there and you just rotate the piston until it goes in clockwise. Until it fits over your new pads. And again, I'm using the same old pads, so the thickness has not changed. Definitely seized up. And you put in back in your 14mm caliper to torque member bolts, and again torque specs in the video. And once you got those on, nice and tightened down, you go ahead and put your parking brake cable back on. Put your parking brake, stick it back in this little bracket there. Put the little clip in. And take out the lug nuts, put your wheel on, and you have just changed the rear brakes on your 4th gen Maxima.